Hey folks, this is Mark with OrientWatchUSA.com with CFA05001B. Now this is part of Orient's World Time collection, even though it's in the executive collection on our website. Only two different SKUs actually perform the World Time. There's EY04 as well as FA05. This comes in two varieties. It comes in a stainless steel version as well as a black version, as you can see on the right top corner of your screen. So let me show you a couple angles that you can't see from the extended pictures on our website. Okay? Just want you to be able to imagine how this is going to look on your own wrist. Okay? So now, let me go ahead and take off the watch so that I can explain to you the features in a little more depth. So, like most Orient watches, it does come with a safety. Let's go ahead and pull that off. And a 2-button clasp. It's folded by design, so to reclose it, just gotta fold it back and use a safety to secure the lock. Take a look at that band. And how that really contrasts well with this case. Okay. Right from the beginning, there are actually 3 or 4 major components to this watch. I'm going to start with the aesthetic. Notice in the back portion of the dial, you'll see it's a very different material. That material is carbon fiber. Although it's a very classy watch, they're able to utilize carbon fiber on an alternative material as a dial material, which is actually quite nice. And it works quite well with even with a very classy type watch. The second thing that you should notice is the World Time function, which is located in the outside. You might be able to read some city names in the most outer rim, or the ring, and then just within it, you will see 1 through 24, which represents each time zone in the world. You'll also notice a power reserve indicator, which is quite common with the Orient watches, located around the 11 o'clock index. We also have a date function, which is located right here in this subdial. Now I'm going to explain to you each component one by one, apart from the carbon fiber dial, which is quite self-explanatory. So the second thing I talked to you about was the World Time. Now this watch has a World Time feature. What that means is that it's able to keep the world's time zones, at least all the cities around here, in the correct time zone. Now, just so before I explain this to you, to better understand it, I think understanding what this will be much easier. I just unscrewed the crown. I'm going to go to step 2, which allows me to adjust the time. So 1, 2. So now that I'm here, watch the 24-hour inner bezel as I progress time forward, and you'll notice that every increment of 1 hour, that the inner ring will pivot 1 unit over per hour. Okay. Now let me give you a running example. I'm currently in Los Angeles. Let's just say in LA right now, it is 8 p.m. at night. Now, this little knob over here will adjust the city names. So what I typically do with my World Time, I set Los Angeles, or wherever I am, at the top. Because it's easy for me to look right there. It's an easy reference point. You can use any point around the watch, but I think 12 o'clock is the easiest. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to step 1, and I'm going to try to match 20, which is the military time for 8 p.m. to Los Angeles. And you'll notice that if I go on step 1, and I go this direction, I can pivot or alter the inner bezel. And now, as you can see, right at the 12 o'clock position, Los Angeles should now, my time, as well as Los Angeles, should be at the right place. So let's go back. Let's progress time. So let's see if this inner bezel keeps up with time as it goes forward. So I'm going to progress time to midnight. Midnight in military time is indeed 24. So as long as time moves forward, you can see how my time zone is going to remain the same. Now let's use an example where I'm going to be in Los Angeles, but I want to know where New York is. You know that right now LA it's 9 a.m. So I want to know what time it is in New York. So I look at the city names, and I find New York over here, and it says 12. It is exactly 3 hours ahead. That's how the world time function works, folks. So I'm sure there's other ways it can be utilized, but you get the idea. There's no wrong or right way of doing this. There's just your preference. Let me go ahead and close my crown. Now let me explain to you what a power reserve indicator is. For those who don't know what a mechanical watch is, if you look at the back of my case back, if you look at the case back, you're going to see the mechanism that's powering this watch. And you'll notice that there are no batteries or capacitors in there. It just works based on micromechanics. And what this does, the power reserve does, it lets me know in units of hours how much more power it's got left in its spring. The last function of this watch is the dates feature. Now I'm sure many of you guys understand how dates works, obviously. But to adjust the date, you go ahead, unscrew the crown, go to step 1, and then go in this direction, and then you can see the date wheel moving. We'll go ahead and close the crown again. Okay. I know that was a very brief explanation of the world time function. It's one of the most advanced features that we have, but I hope that this gave you a small idea of how it works. This is CFA05001B. Hope to see you right soon.